Top 25 Clinical Trial Manager Interview Questions and Answers. Preparing for a clinical trial manager interview requires a strong understanding of clinical research operations, regulatory compliance, leadership, and project management skills. Clinical trial managers play a critical role in ensuring studies are conducted ethically, efficiently, and according to global standards such as Good Clinical Practice (GCP). Employers look for candidates who can manage timelines, coordinate cross-functional teams, maintain quality, and handle unexpected challenges during trials. This interview guide provides carefully selected questions with professional sample answers to help candidates demonstrate competence, confidence, and practical experience while preparing effectively for clinical trial management roles. 1. Tell us about your experience in managing clinical trials. A strong answer should highlight your end-to-end involvement in clinical trial management. Explain how you supervised study planning, site selection, monitoring activities, vendor coordination, and regulatory submissions. Mention therapeutic areas or trial phases you have managed. Discuss collaboration with investigators, CROs, and sponsors while ensuring protocol compliance. Emphasize leadership skills, risk management, and adherence to timelines and budgets. Employers want evidence that you understand operational complexities and can deliver successful trials while maintaining patient safety. 2. How do you ensure compliance with Good Clinical Practice (GCP)? Ensuring GCP compliance requires continuous oversight and structured processes. Explain that you implement standardized operating procedures, conduct regular training sessions, and monitor adherence during site visits. Describe reviewing documentation, informed consent processes, and safety reporting systems. Mention internal audits and corrective action plans when deviations occur. Highlight collaboration with quality assurance teams and regulatory authorities. Demonstrate that compliance is proactive rather than reactive. Employers value managers who build a culture of quality, ensuring ethical conduct, participant protection, and accurate data collection aligned with international clinical research regulations. 3. How do you manage multiple clinical trial timelines simultaneously? Managing multiple timelines requires strong organizational and prioritization skills. Explain how you use project management tools, milestone tracking, and risk assessment methods. Describe creating realistic project plans and assigning responsibilities clearly to team members. Regular status meetings help identify delays early. Discuss contingency planning to manage unforeseen issues, such as recruitment delays or regulatory approvals. Emphasize communication with stakeholders to maintain transparency. Employers want clinical trial managers who can balance competing demands while ensuring each study progresses efficiently without compromising quality or regulatory compliance. 4. What steps do you follow during clinical trial startup? Clinical trial startup begins with feasibility assessments and site selection. Explain reviewing protocol requirements, regulatory submissions, ethics committee approvals, and contract negotiations. Describe coordinating investigator meetings and ensuring site staff training before initiation. Highlight preparing essential documents, developing timelines, and verifying vendor readiness. Effective startup management reduces delays later in the study. Employers expect managers to anticipate operational challenges, ensure compliance from the beginning, and create a strong foundation that supports successful recruitment, monitoring, and trial execution. 5. How do you handle protocol deviations? Protocol deviations must be handled quickly and transparently. Explain that you investigate root causes, assess patient safety impact, and document findings thoroughly. Describe working with sites to implement corrective and preventative actions. Emphasize training and communication to prevent recurrence. Mention reporting deviations to sponsors and regulatory authorities when required. Employers look for professionals who maintain compliance while supporting sites constructively. Demonstrating a balanced approach between accountability and collaboration shows strong leadership and commitment to maintaining trial integrity. 6. How do you ensure patient safety during a clinical trial? Patient safety is the highest priority in clinical research. Explain monitoring adverse events, ensuring informed consent accuracy, and confirming eligibility criteria are followed. Describe collaboration with safety teams and data monitoring committees. Regular review of safety data allows early identification of risks. Discuss escalation procedures when safety concerns arise. Employers value clinical trial managers who maintain ethical responsibility while ensuring compliance with regulatory safety reporting timelines. Showing dedication to participant welfare demonstrates professionalism and strong ethical leadership. 7. Describe your experience with regulatory submissions. Discuss preparing and coordinating submissions to regulatory authorities and ethics committees. Mention handling essential documents such as protocols, investigator brochures, and safety updates. Explain maintaining communication with regulatory bodies and tracking approval timelines. Highlight experience managing amendments and responding to authority queries. Employers seek candidates who understand international regulations and documentation standards. Demonstrating organized regulatory management shows your ability to keep studies compliant and prevent cost. 8. How do you manage clinical trial budgets? Effective budget management requires forecasting, tracking expenses, and controlling costs. Explain developing study budgets based on protocol requirements and vendor contracts. Describe monitoring financial performance throughout the trial and identifying variances early. Mention negotiating with CROs and vendors while maintaining quality standards. Employers expect clinical trial managers to balance financial accountability with operational needs. Demonstrating analytical thinking and cost control strategies shows that you can deliver successful trials within allocated financial resources. 9. How do you handle underperforming clinical sites? Start by identifying performance issues using recruitment metrics and monitoring reports. Explain communicating with site staff to understand challenges such as workload or training gaps. Provide additional support, retraining, or recruitment strategies when necessary. Establish clear improvement goals and timelines. If performance does not improve, discuss escalation or site replacement decisions. Employers value managers who combine problem-solving skills with relationship management, ensuring trial progress without compromising study quality or timelines. 10. How do you ensure effective communication among stakeholders? Effective communication requires structured reporting and transparency. Explain scheduling regular team meetings, distributing progress reports, and maintaining open communication channels with sponsors, investigators, and vendors. Discuss adapting communication styles for different audiences. Highlight conflict resolution skills and proactive issue escalation. Employers seek leaders who keep all stakeholders informed, preventing misunderstandings and ensuring alignment across teams involved in complex clinical trials. 11. What project management tools do you use? Mention tools such as clinical trial management systems, CTMS, project trackers, and risk management platforms. Explain how these tools help monitor milestones, budgets, recruitment rates, and compliance activities. Discuss generating dashboards for leadership visibility. Employers appreciate candidates who use technology effectively to enhance efficiency, improve decision-making, and maintain accurate documentation throughout the study lifecycle. 12. How do you manage risks in clinical trials? Risk management begins during study planning. Explain identifying potential risks related to recruitment, compliance, or data quality. Describe implementing mitigation strategies and continuously reviewing risk indicators. Conduct regular risk assessments and adjust plans as needed. Employers value proactive managers who prevent issues before they impact timelines or regulatory compliance. Demonstrating structured risk management reflects strong strategic thinking and leadership capabilities. 13. How do you support clinical research associates, CRAs? Explain providing guidance, training, and performance feedback to CRAs. Conduct regular check-ins to review monitoring findings and address challenges. Encourage professional development and maintain workload balance. Employers seek leaders who empower monitoring teams while ensuring consistent oversight. Supporting CRAs improves site performance and enhances overall trial quality. 14. Describe your approach to vendor management. Vendor management includes selecting qualified vendors, defining expectations, and monitoring performance. Explain contract oversight, performance metrics, and regular communication. Address issues quickly to avoid operational delays. Employers want managers who ensure vendors deliver quality services aligned with study goals and regulatory standards. 15. How do you maintain data quality in clinical trials? Explain implementing monitoring plans, data validation checks, and centralized data reviews. Collaborate with data management teams to resolve discrepancies promptly. Emphasize training site staff on accurate documentation practices. Employers value candidates who understand that reliable data is essential for regulatory approval and scientific credibility. 16. How do you handle recruitment challenges? Discuss analyzing enrollment trends and identifying barriers such as eligibility criteria or patient awareness. Implement recruitment campaigns. 17. What leadership style do you use as a clinical trial manager? Describe a collaborative leadership approach that encourages accountability and teamwork. Explain motivating teams through clear goals, constructive feedback, and recognition of achievements. Employers seek leaders who inspire productivity while maintaining high-performance standards. 18. How do you prepare for audits or inspections? Explain maintaining inspection readiness at all times, conduct internal audits, ensure documentation completeness, and train teams on compliance expectations. Employers value managers who reduce inspection risks by embedding quality practices into daily operations. 19. How do you manage protocol amendments? Describe assessing amendment impact on timelines, budgets, and site operations. Coordinate regulatory submissions and retraining activities. Employers expect efficient implementation that minimizes disruption while maintaining compliance. 20. How do you ensure proper documentation management? Explain maintaining trial master files, version control, and secure document storage systems. Regular reviews ensure completeness and accuracy. Employers value strong documentation practices because they support compliance and audit readiness. 21. How do you resolve conflicts within the study team? Discuss listening actively to all parties, identifying root causes, and encouraging collaborative solutions. Maintain professionalism and focus on project objectives. Employers appreciate managers who preserve teamwork while addressing conflicts effectively. 22. How do you monitor study progress? Explain tracking milestones, reviewing monitoring reports, and analyzing performance metrics. Conduct regular meetings to evaluate progress and implement corrective actions. Employers want managers who use data-driven decisions to. 23. Describe a challenging clinical trial you managed. Provide an example involving recruitment delays, regulatory challenges, or operational risks. Explain actions taken and successful outcomes achieved. Employers look for problem-solving ability and resilience in complex trial environments. 24. How do you stay updated with clinical research regulations? Mention attending training sessions, industry conferences, and reviewing regulatory updates. Engage with professional organizations and continuous learning opportunities. Employers value candidates committed to professional growth and regulatory awareness. 25. Why do you want to work as a clinical trial manager? Explain your passion for advancing medical research and improving patient outcomes.